This crazy XP farm will give you over 30 levels in 1 minute. And here's how to build it in Minecraft Java Edition. So if you didn't know, allays can't die in Java Edition when they are holding a block. So putting them on top of a campfire like this, they will never die. On top of this, if they are splashed with an infestation potion, every tick of damage they take, a silverfish spawns. So if I throw this potion at them, as you're going to see, silverfish will start to pour out. There you go. You can see silverfish start to come out of this. This is the main mechanic for this farm. You kill the silverfish and you start to get XP. Now what you need to decide is how many of these things you want to have. As you can see behind me here, I have 9 of these things set up and it produces a lot of silverfish. This thing gave me 0 to 30 levels in 25 seconds with 9 of them. So this is absolutely insane. Such a good way to get XP. In this video, I'm only going to be doing 4 of these, but if you want to do 1, if you want to do 9, if you want to do 50, go right ahead. So to get started with this farm, the first thing you want to do is build 3 blocks up off the ground, break the bottom 2, and then place a campfire on top of that block there. Now what you should do, what I recommend, is right-clicking the campfire with a shovel to get rid of the smoke temporarily, because it will get really annoying when we're making the rest of this farm. Now build 3 blocks in one direction, 3 blocks like that, and 3 blocks like that. Then on all of the corners, you want to place a campfire. Again, I'm going to put them out so the smoke doesn't get annoying. And then you can go ahead and remove these middle blocks. Now, like I mentioned before, you can have more of these areas or you can just have 1. I just think 4 is the perfect amount. The next thing you want to do is come to any side of the blocks, place 2 blocks like that and 2 blocks like that. You then want to take a dispenser and face it leading into the campfire. This is what's going to dispense the infested potions onto the allays. There you go, just like that. Now place a block on top of the campfire and then go out 2 like that. Come to this side over here and do the exact same thing like that, and then connect these corners and make a roof over top. The next thing you want to do is go over top of where these campfires are. So I have 1 there, 1 there, 1 right there, and 1 right there. And what you're going to want to do is take some temporary block, I like to use dirt, and make a 2 high pillar like that above these campfires. So for all of these spots, do the same thing. 2 high pillar, and there we go. Once you have that done, what you want to do is fill in these blocks. Again, this is all temporary. This is just to make our lives easier in getting the allays down into the campfires. So something like this. And now what you want to do is build this up 3 more blocks and then make a wall around. Once you've got that wall built, I recommend taking a solid block or something different than this just so you can tell where they are and just temporarily cover up all of these spots here. And now what we need to do is put a roof over top of this. So we're going to make a roof, just again with any temporary block. And now we need to get allays inside of this box. So the best way to do this, first of all, is just to make a staircase to get up and down from this farm. And then we need to go ahead and find ourselves a pillager outpost. At the pillager outposts, you're going to see inside of these boxes, there are 2 allays. What you want to do is break those blocks and then go ahead, get them on a lead and bring them back to your farm. All right, so I've gotten my allays back to the farm and you can go ahead, walk up your staircase and then get them inside of this box. Once you've gotten both of the allays inside of the box, what you want to do is place down a jukebox. I'm going to do it in the ground just because it's easier. And then place any music disc inside of there and you'll see these guys are going to start to dance. Now what you want to do is give them an amethyst shard and they are going to breed. Now you're going to have to wait a little bit, but you're going to want to get at least 8 of these guys into each one of the holes. Okay, so I now have 8 of these guys up here. What you want to do is break one of those holes, and while that is still going, you want to give them a block. So for me, I'm going to give them dirt. Just right click on all of them, dirt, dirt, dirt. Give 1 dirt to every single one of them or whatever block you want. This is because after you've done this, all you have to do is take that block, throw it down this hole, and they will fly down after it. And then you can just cover that area back up and now do that same process for all the holes that you have. Once you have at least 8 allays in all of the holes, you can go ahead and break your jukebox. And now what we need to do is push these blocks down over top of this right here to make sure they can't fly back up. They all stay right on top of the campfire. So as you can see, I have this block placed 1 block above where I want it to be. So if that makes sense. So what you want to do is take a piston, place it face down like that, and then just push it down once. And then you can see that there is now a block on top of these allays. And you want to do that for all 4 of these spots. So again, I'm going to come over here, place a piston facing down with a block there, use a lever on it, and then push that block over top. And do that for all of your spots. Once you finish doing that for all 4, you can go ahead and break all of this dirt that we've placed down because we're not going to need it anymore. So once you finish doing that, your farm should look like this, where you have a roof with the campfires, the dispensers, and the block, and then a ton of alleys over top. Very important, make sure every single one of these alleys is holding a block. If they're not holding a block, they're going to die, and you're going to have to do that whole process over again. So make sure they're all holding a block or an item. The next thing we're going to do is make a box around these alleys to make sure that none of the silverfish can escape. Now I'm going to use glass, but you can use any block that you want to. Really quickly, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video. I'm posting more tutorials like this twice a week, so make sure to stick in there for that. So for the box, what you want to do is leave a 1 block gap from these blocks here. So you go 1 block over, and then right there as well. In other words, you want it to be right beside the roof that we've built. This is just so that when the silverfish spawn, they don't cram into this block, they still have somewhere to go. So go ahead and make a wall around this area that we've built, and make sure it goes all the way down to the ground as well. Once you've got your box fully built and it's looking like this, the next thing you want to do is come inside and then replace those blocks. Now take 1 bucket of water and place it in all 4 of the corners of the box, and then sit in the water, and wherever it ends up pushing you, so for me it's over top of these 2 blocks, is where you want to do this next step. So what you want to do is break down 3 blocks for one of them and then 3 blocks for the other as well. Now temporarily place a block on the side and then place a fence gate in front of it and open that gate up. Now do that for a second time there, and then go ahead and break those blocks, and you should have an area that looks like this. When the silverfish spawn, they're all going to be pushed towards the middle and down inside of our killing chamber. Next, you want to come down inside of your hole and then on any one of the sides. So for me, I'm just going to pick over here. You want to go ahead and make yourself a room, and this is going to be the AFK spot for the farm. Once you've got your room dug out here and you know that you have your 2 blocks there where they're going to be falling down, what you want to do is place down 4 glass blocks like that so they cannot escape. Now the next thing you want to do is take an armor stand and place it beside one of the glass blocks there. So how this farm is going to work, we have a sweeping edge sword, and then all you do is hit this armor stand, and the sweeping edge affects all of the silverfish, they die, and then we can collect the XP. The final thing you want to do is turn around and just make yourself a nice staircase out without letting the water in. Dig a little bit, make a staircase in and out of the farm, and there you go. The next thing we have to do is get all of our bottles of infestation inside of these dispensers. Now do not break any of these top blocks, because otherwise these alleys might end up glitching out of the farm. So what you want to do is just break the wall, open it up, and then place as many in here as you can. Now they should all have the same amount, so they're all always working, but you're going to have to use a new infestation bottle every time you want to start the farm, just so you are aware. So going around to all of these and placing 9 in all of them. Once you've got all of the splash bottles of infestation put inside of the dispensers, the final thing we want to do is connect it up to a single button or lever so that we can start the farm at the same time. So what you're going to want to do is in front of either one of these 2 dispenser paths, if you used glass here, you're going to want to change that to a solid block, and then place, like I mentioned, either a button, I like to do that, or a lever on the front here. Now what you want to do is take a redstone path down to this block here, go over to here, and then bring it back to that. Bring it 1 more further, there you go. So it's now touching all 4 of the dispensers. Now what you want to do is go inside of this box and light all 4 of these campfires on fire. Again, remembering if the alleys are holding a block, they're not going to die, so don't worry about that. You can then close this back off, turn your game into easy, normal, or hard mode, and then all you have to do is click this button, and as you're going to see, a ton of silverfish will start to pour out. Now I'm going to go into survival mode to show you how to use the farm. I know I already have 40 levels, but ignoring that, you can see all the silverfish flow down here. Then all I have to do is hit this armor stand on the side. The sweeping edge will affect the silverfish, and then I am able to collect all of the XP. Be careful if your device is lower end, because this farm is actually so efficient that it could lag out your game. So if that's the case, just make sure that you only run the farm for about a minute or 2, or you kill them often, because like I mentioned, very efficient farm as you can see. And there you go, that's the entire farm done. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. As well, if you have any questions, you can ask them down below. I answer every single comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Blazedmc out.